up a dive. Feel the vibe, get ready to ignite. Untold stories in the airways, flying through the night. Experience voices, tales so bold. Streaming live, the truth unfolds. Untold Radio Network, where secrets come alive. New episodes daily, the mysteries thrive. Great guests, super chat, it's a wide variety. Share and subscribe, join the side where truth can't hide. Aliens in the attic, UFOs in the sky. Cryptids lurking, oh my, oh my. Ghosts in the hallway, whispering your name. The paranormal, the unexplained. Become a VIP, get the inside scoop. Unlock the mysteries, be part of the group. Live streaming stories, they're talking to you. Super chats buzzing, join the crew. Untold Radio Network, the secrets come alive. New episodes daily, the mysteries thrive. Great guests, super chat, it's a wild ride. Share and subscribe, join the side where truth can hide. So if you've got the guts and you want to explore, tune into the untold, it's what you're looking for. From aliens to ghosts and all that's unseen. Untold Radio Network, where the world's mysteries convene.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome to the Paranormal Spectrum here on the Untold Radio Network. I am your host, Barnaby Jones from Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society. We are live today. Hello, Steamboat. Welcome from Texas. Thank you for tuning in and enjoying us before your appointment today. Gabby as well. Hello, welcome to the show. Isabel and Lee Warner is here as well. Lee and I, as well as Squatch America, had an amazingly fun weekend with a couple other people as well. Heading out into the woods and hanging out, and so that was our last weekend. This weekend, though, we are heading down to the Chicago Paranormal Convention in Countryside, Illinois. That's right, guys. It is an awesome event with over 80 vendors, speakers, and admission is just $1. So you can't beat that in Chicago. Plus free parking. How much more do you want? That's right, guys. This is an amazing event put on by the one and only Jack Chavez. He does an amazing job with all of his events. Chad Lewis is going to be there. Myself is going to be there, and a whole bunch of other people. So if you can, you should be there too. And then, guys, in a couple weeks, we head down to Murfreesboro, Illinois for the Big Muddy Monster Festival. Going to be a good time down there. I have the Lodi Public Library coming up June 30th and the Cedarburg Public Library here in Wisconsin, July 17th. We are doing a CE5 investigation skywatching event July 19th. PBS Wisconsin is going to be there filming as well for the TV show Wisconsin Life. And the CAPS team is going to be doing some research with telescopes and all kinds of equipment there for you guys. So this is July 19th. Hope to get a lot of people out there for this event. All the information is at wisconsincaps.com. public events page, or you can go to Central Wisconsin CE5 on Facebook. Then, guys, we head to UFO Days in Elmwood, Wisconsin, July 26th, Silcon in Gaze, Illinois in September, the Van Meter Visitor Festival in September in Iowa, the Neenah Public Library. We have a paranormal presentation as well as a ghost hunt at the library coming up. It's going to be a great time. And then, guys, CapCon returns in 2026 with not one but two great events. The first one is going to be Cape Girardeau, Missouri, April 17th through the 19th. And we return to Wisconsin in Fond du Lac, Wisconsin, May 8th through the 10th. A lot of great stuff coming up. A lot of stuff to get through. I think I've done it all, and we can move on with today. All right, guys, with that being said, we are live, if you haven't noticed, because talking with our comments section. So if you guys have any questions or comments as we go throughout the show for our guest, please throw them in the comments section. We'll get to them as soon as possible. But now, without any further ado, please welcome our guest. My guest today is Debbie Romero. Oh my gosh, Romero. I can't talk even. After all that, I still can't talk. She is a globally recognized evidential psychic medium, paranormal investigator, energy worker, and empowerment teacher. Her unique blend of psychic abilities and healing energy has set her apart spiritually, garnering her international acclaim. With a profound connection to the spirit realm, she has dedicated her life to helping others explore the mysteries of the unseen world. As an accomplished practitioner, Debbie's work transcends traditional boundaries, offering transformative experiences that empower individuals on their spiritual journeys. She is a sought-after guide for those seeking to understand the connection with energies that shape our lives. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Debbie to the show. Debbie, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me. It's an honor and a privilege to be here on your show and with your community. Thank you.
Awesome. We have a very lively bunch here in the comments section. That's awesome. We are off to a great start.
I love that.
I feel like some people may know you here. Isabella Phoenix.
Yes, girl. My Cali girls are here. I see Texas is here. Yes.
Debbie is an amazing soul, great teacher, and mentor. There you go. An outstanding review for you to start on today's show. Very cool. Well, I'm looking forward to digging in with this, to you digging. I just need to slow down. That's what we need to do.
We got this. We got this.
And that is the topic, or one of the topics of today's show, right?
Okay, yeah.
We want to talk about being present and in the moment. And here I am rushing through the whole show and basically giving us a perfect opening to this on accident. But we were talking before the show, and there he goes. Courtney, slow and steady wins the race. Yeah, we'll get there.
We will.
I get so excited sometimes with guests, and I want to get through everything in the beginning and get to the guest and, get to the show, that I try and blow through all this. And that works fine because I do the same thing every single show. And then when I try and read a bio or talk to the guest, I'm still on that fast forward mode, and it does not work.
Right. The energy takes us. It's so true.
We get carried away. So let's start with a deep breath. All right. So
yes,
absolutely.
Yes.
We were talking before the show about being present, and that's exactly where we're at with this, taking the empowerment, and you can't have that control of whatever you're doing if you're not in the moment.
Right. Being in the moment is so hard, right? Especially when we're gifted and we love to be out in the astral planes, the spirit world, or channeling Bigfoot, as you were saying earlier. So, grounding has been something that I struggled with throughout my whole entire journey, right? We all want to be open. We want to feel, we want to know, what is that? Ooh, we're just really excited to see what spirit is showing us. And then also our psychic ability is constantly going. Once I learned and developed a way to stay present and grounded, it's my form of protection. It really is. And And it's also allows me to bring my energy back to not only me, but what's around me, my family, my home. And it gives you the stability of being present so that you can, for me, stay focused in the areas of being a teacher or holding space for communities. So it's important when we're doing jobs that we are present and our mind is not going from one subject to another. So it helps, yeah, with our work too. Mhm.
Absolutely. I am very ADHD. I jump from one thing to another. I always
Okay.
use the analogy, like people say that their brain is like a internet browser where there's 500 tabs open and music's playing somewhere.
Yeah.
And so when I try and do like meditation and things like that, it is very hard for me to be in that moment because all these tabs are open and I got all this stuff going on. It's hard to bring that back down. What is your advice for people that have that problem?
Do you know, I have a great friend in here and she's amazing. And what she does is she doodles. She doodles while she's talking to me, or she'll do a game at the same time as she's talking to me. And what's a great example, Barnaby, is when we're mediums, think about a gallery or demonstration or a channeler. You're in the energy all the time and you do this work not just for self, but you're holding space for community, right? So what happens is when we're in that field, our senses, our altered state of mind goes from one state of mind to another, from one plane to another. And so I'll give you an example. I was on TikTok and I can hear, it will say through telepathy or through the need of spirit and the sitter, the people in the audience, pick me. Oh no, that's my mom. That's my grandma. Or yes, that's my message. So you're learning to filter the different channels of energies that you're picking up. For your circumstances, it's work. So for me, it's for mediumship, spirit, and bringing the message. So for you, you're channeling your work and you're working through the different tabs that you have open. Say, for me, I had to stay focused on the one link to say, no, I'm here. And you're going to train your thoughts to stay present with that one specific link because that's where spirit is taking me. So, whatever stands out to you in the most strongest way, focus on that. All these other energies will still be present, but as long as you stay focused on the one course, you'll be okay. So, you're learning to train your thinking and your mind. And of course, always seek professional care. So, this is energetically how I manage for self as a medium, as a channeler, and as I go from one state of mind to another. I could totally understand how that feels when we're in that energy. Definitely.
Now, personally, I've done like I don't want to make this all about me, but like when
Go
you
ahead. Yeah, it's all good.
I feel like a lot of people relate, or there's some people out there like me that will relate to these situations. The
Right.
people that are out there that already have a good understanding probably don't need the help of trying to work on these things. So
Right.
trying to be relatable and put my questions out there in a way that will help other people as well. So
Mm-hmm.
when I do like guided meditations and stuff, they always
Mm-hmm.
say, it's okay if your mind wanders and let it
Right.
go where it wants, because take that thought or whatever, acknowledge it, and then let it go.
Right.
So when you're doing this, like for example, would you say that it's better to try and focus in on that meditation, or can you focus in on whatever the strongest thing is and work your way back once you've released that?
I think everyone is in a different state when it comes to their journey. So this answer will be different for others based on where we are. I always say go to the breath. Spirit connects to us. So if it's for a connection for spirit, then and for self, it calms you. Focus on the breath. If you're going into meditation, it's broken into three different ways. So I'm going to give you three different scenarios. Okay. For meditation, it's for self. It relaxes you. It calms you. It brings you to the nothing, right? No thought. And so for you, you're saying your mind just goes. So if you can just focus on just the breath, something very simple. You don't need to focus on a word. If a word comes through, let it move through you. Energy will move through you. And as the energy grounds, it brings you present. And then you're focused on your own energy, your own self. As it calms the nervous system, it calms the muscles and the tissues. Okay. Then we can go into where we go sitting in the power, where we're allowing the energy to blend to everything. And when we're blending the energies, then we're expanding outside. Then we get our energy becomes stimulated with the energies around us. And that is expanding our auric field so that we can blend with the spirit world. Then we can go into an attunement where the spirit blends closer and we ask them to attune us to the energies. And for you, for if you're going into the woods and you're connecting to Bigfoot, attune me to Bigfoot's energies. So you're specifically attune me to the woods, to the home, to the essence, to the energy. So there's 3 different ways to work with when you're going within. So you have to look at it. Why are you going within? Is it to calm yourself? Is it to expand and to blend with spirit, or for healing? What's the purpose? So you want to always go with an intent. So if your intent is to see and to get connected, then you're going to watch your breath. Then you're going to go into the attunements and expand your energy. First, it's going to go into the earth. Visualize, if you want, the earth, the wind, the fire, the elements, and then going into the cosmos. And what catches your attention, you can start traveling, sitting where your chair is, start going to where Bigfoot lives, feel the energy with your hands. Like, where does your imagination take you? So everyone is in a very different place in their journey, and based on the need, everyone's going to go in differently. For me, it was always about healing, and it was for healing for self. And as time progressed, then of course I learned I can connect to my team, and I always worked with my team. And that's how I continue to do it.
That makes a lot of sense. I truly appreciate that. I think it
Yeah.
it boils down to intent. Like
Right.
we talk a lot about with the metaphysical and even paranormal investigating and stuff like that. It's all what your intent is and setting that intent when you go out. You can have this meditation, you can try and focus, but if you don't know what you're trying to focus on besides the meditation itself, it's not going to get you anywhere. You have to
Right.
have the intent of what you want out of it before you go in, or as you go in, I suppose.
Yeah. There's always a reason, before you go in. Is it for self? Is it to bring comfort to your mind and to your body and your spirit? So then this is really focusing on your breath and letting the energies move through you. Is it for healing? Then you invite your spirit team to bring forward healing. Is it to get a message and attune your energy so that you can be a medium, so that you can awaken your senses? Then you're going to attune your energies to the spirit world. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, you've also done paranormal investigating as well, correct?
I have. Uh-huh.
Very cool. So one of the things that I've learned through my investigating and stuff like that is I absolutely hate the spirit box. I think that is like audio pareidolia. You hear what you want to hear kind of stuff. But I
Mm-hmm.
really do like the Estes method, right? So one
Okay.
person has the headphones on, the noise canceling headphones, the blindfold, and they listen and repeat what they hear, and the people in the room ask the questions.
Right.
And it allows you to get into this, again, deep meditative state where
Right.
you're not only just hearing what's coming through on the radio, but you're also being able to get into that meditative state to receive messages, for my case, a little bit easier, and having that focus as opposed to just trying to bring it in otherwise. Does that make sense?
It does. I was witnessing a young girl. Her name was Melissa, and she was doing an investigation. And I happened to have the honor to sit and watch them as she was in that process. And every name she was throwing out was all connected to me. I'm like, oh, let me move out of the way. So, yes, we're in that state. Our eyes are covered. The senses are heightened, as you would say, because you are being focused. The earplugs are, your ears are covered. And so it takes you, the senses, it changes the awareness. Basically you're working through the clairs, and so you're really going through the clairsentient to see, okay, what do I hear, what am I feeling, what's here, and you're not seeing what's in front of you because you're blindfolded. So you really have to trust your intuition. That's a really cool exercise. There's a lady named Lynn who works that way. You may want to bring her on your show. She's really cool and doing that as well. So I absolutely love that exercise and watching it. It's almost like takes you into a light trance.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Mhm.
It's when we come out, I have people literally tap the toe of my shoe because any other physical interaction will just startle the crap out of me, and I come out swinging. So
Right. You have to think about it. We're in altered states. And when we're focused specifically on the project, our energy and our altered state of mind is truly focused on that specific questions that you're asking. So then just think about how we feel when spirit comes in close to us and we're not expecting it. It's like, oh, we're jittered. We get,
Mhm.
oh, wow, what was that? Did you feel that? And you get scared because you were not expecting it. So you have to remember, give the person enough time to come back gradually. And this is where we go again back to grounding your energy. Count 5 things in the room. What colors do you see? What time is it on the clock? What's outside? Start bringing the awareness back to the individual, because the energy is in an altered state of mind, and you want to be sensitive to the person who's in that state.
As you're talking there about like the 5 things you see and stuff like that, that very reminds me of like people having a panic attack are told these same things to help them slow down and ground themselves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So we definitely bringing in the energies and we're grounding them in, right? And that's the thing, is that we go in, we're so pumped up, we're so excited, we're like, oh yeah, we're going into this investigation. Let's go, let's roll. Everyone's got their gear, you got their equipment going and the radio going. If you're out before you get there, you're whatever routine you got. For me, I love to listen to my music. And so when we're in that high speed of energy, um, there's always a down after the project. And that down, the energies of the residuals coming out of it. How do you release the residuals of after coming out of a project? Big projects, especially, you're touching everything that's history and it has residuals. And so you're really having to, one, spiritual cleanse, two, ground, and get your energy, regulate your energy back to you. And that goes back to what we first started, right? So what is Barnaby about? What is your energy saying about you? Are you the project still, or are you Barnaby? So it's like really allowing the energies to shed. Hmm.
That's interesting as well. Like, so kind of what you're saying is like when you go into these investigations, a lot of people take time to do like a meditation when they get there, or to ground themselves. But
Hmm.
would you suggest doing that as well when you leave then?
Oh, definitely. Wholeheartedly. Think about, every day you have to take a shower to cleanse your body, right? Your auric field holds memory. It holds an imprint of everything we do. So if you're touching on something that's very difficult, let's say for instance a traumatic event, and the psychic medium, even you as the investigator with the equipment, you are in the energies. Just because you're not channeling it, you're in the energies. You're what we call holding space. You're holding space for the team, and the team is coming in together and unity. There's a link in the thread that connects us to the ethers. We're all coming in with the same intent to find what spirit or what story spirit wants to share. Just because you're not the spokesperson doesn't mean that you're not invested in the energies. Energy is connected together. So when you're blending and you're connecting, you want to be able to release that project. You want to let go of the energies out of your the bottom of your feet and your hands, and it's almost like, let's cleanse this. You don't want to carry the project within your energy field. And when people come to you, it'll be felt. It'll be like, whoa, wait a minute, what is that? Especially as intuitives or sensitives, we can feel in what's in your auric field. Definitely it plays a factor in how we react. Think about, what is the aura? It's your emotions, it's your thoughts, it's your astral body, it's your physical body, has so many layers. And if that is in our auric field, you're going to be feeling that, and you're going to be like, I can't get my thoughts right because my energy field is saying I got to work on this project, that project, that project. So find a way of clearing out the energy field as well will help. Hmm.
So do you think that like a lot of the trouble grounding and trouble focusing is from a lot of things that people may be carrying over that haven't been cleared or released?
I think about life in general, not just in investigations. Many of us have different stories in our lives, and we embody imprints of every experience that we embody. And what we're reading as investigators are the stories of those memories. We're filling into the imprints of what one's person lived. And so you, as an individual, also have your stories, and those stories are imprinted within us. They're always part of us, but what changes is how we change the form Energy never dies, it only changes its form. So it's important on how the way we develop the muscle to change the energy that's within us and around us. Yeah, definitely plays a factor in everything we do. Mm-hmm.
As you guys may or may not know, we are live today on the show, so we have a lot of comments and stuff going on here. Steamboat says he is back now watching, had a phone call but came back and was watching at 2 times speed and was making him giggle. But now he also is back present with us in today's
Welcome
show.
back,
Thank you
Steamboat.
so much. Awesome. From Falk, let me see this. Everyone here in East Texas, only 25 minutes away from Falk, Arkansas, home of the Falk Monster. At the beginning of the show, I said I was hanging out with Squatch America last weekend, and they're also right by Falk, Arkansas. Interesting little coincidence there. But
nice.
Awesome. So, again, if you guys have any questions for my amazing guest here, throw them in the comments section. We'll get to them as soon as possible. All right. Well, let's transition here onto you want to talk a little bit about old school versus new school.
Ooh, yes, let's do it.
Awesome. Well, tell me where you want to go. Let's dive into this.
I love to look. Oh, he loves to look them up. Any questions on the old school, new school? Like, what are your thoughts, Barnaby, on that? Like, how do you manage with the new babies coming up, with the new technology and the new things that are out there? How do you manage with that?
Oh, absolutely. Like I want to pretend that I'm all up on, the latest technologies and stuff. I used to work in electronics at Walmart, so I had to know all these things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was several years ago. And nowadays I go online and there's always a new thing, like a new social media platform, or it's overwhelming because you have all these new things that you think that you're up on, and then you have to go in and do it, and you have no idea what you're doing, and you have to find all these younger people that do.
I agree. I was at a girlfriend's house yesterday, and we were going through social media stuff, and we were talking with another business partner, and she's so hip. She's a producer. She's into music, and she was using AI. And I know that that's been around for a while, but I have not been trained to use it. I'm just recently this week picking up the hint, we'll say the downloads from Spirit and South of being nudged to tap into that, to use it for marketing, to use it for our advertisements. And what does that look like? Trying to continue to keep us, I want to say, upbeat, kind of have that vibe and keep up, right? It's like we're going to keep up with the times, but we're also going to be open to these babies and these new trainings that they're giving us. So we're going to have a meeting with the girls, and they're going to train us with the AI apps and stuff like that. So I'm really looking forward to it. But you're right. There's so many things out there to learn. And being that you worked at Walmart, for myself, when it comes to IT, oh my God, no, I am not that girl, but I work through it, for sure.
I will date myself a little here. And the last time that I worked in Walmart electronics, not the iPhone, what the heck are the little music players? iPad.
Oh, iTunes?
iTunes, thank you. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Those were out still. So that's how long ago I was in electronics.
I have a phone that does all this great stuff, but I'm still old school. I have to write everything down. I have a calendar. I have to see it in writing, and I have to write it. That's how my brain processes it. So, even with the new things that are out there to keep us updated, I still have to write it down. So I'm still that girl.
I was going to ask you, how do you, what are your thoughts on all this new stuff? I mean, like, people are so obsessed with the newest thing, the newest item, the newest technology in that. Do you think that that's healthy? Is this like something that, people should be focusing their energy on without at the same time trying to, stay grounded in themselves, like without relying on all that technology?
So if you're saying technology for paranormal or technology in general?
Just in general, like the way that we live our lives. Yeah.
It's really interesting. I was doing a meditation. I take trance, and I was channeling for a woman that was part of the course, and we're paired up and stuff. And I was taken back to times, back in Egypt, and back in, when Jesus was walking with us and teaching with us. And they took me to the cloth that he wore, and that cloth that he had was his protection, but it was part of the garment that they only had. So they made me feel as if, the very minimum is what they lived with. And they made me feel into the ancient wisdom of what was being channeled, and how we had to figure out what it meant for us with using the sun, and how we connected to the moon and the universe, and how we connected to the energies, to what it had meant for us. Is it the north? Are we walking this way or that way? It's like we really had to honor the basics, right? The basics of, this is how we followed the times. This is how we had our knowledge, which was left behind. They still had to figure it out, even though there was messages on the pyramids of codes and dialects and things like that. They still had to translate it. So if we go back to before technology, how do we use the basics, right? And how do we respect and get gratitude for the things that we had, which are the minimum, and give gratitude for that? So everyone is going to have a different lifestyle, but it's a gentle reminder, taking care of what you have, right? Take care of what you have, and whatever comes with it and what's needed. Everyone is going to needs are very different based on their work, based on the field. If you go back to paranormal, let's do that. If we didn't have the equipment, and we go to the Fox sisters, and they had no equipment other than just the rampings and the knockings, spirit was still able to correspond and respond back to the person who was receiving the paranormal phenomena, right? They were able to hear the knockings, and they were able to communicate with them. So it really depends on the individual and their needs. I'm not here to say how to live, but I was gently reminded how Jesus just had that one piece of garment, and how, the times of how we had to use the energies of the universe to communicate with time, and also with the sun, and going to sleep, and how to cover the body from the heat and all of that. So your body, for me, that was a great experience and part of that channel.
There's a lot to unpack there. So many things. Again, the browser tabs just like flipped open there. There's like 10 of them now, and I got to work through them again. No, yeah, that's amazing, because looking back at some of our greatest thinkers, Da Vinci, Einstein, I lost him there, Aristotle, all those guys, like, they came up with these ideas, this science that we're still realizing is correct today. Granted, we had some issues back there with the sun revolving around the earth, and the earth being flat, and we can debate on that, but there's all these things that we may have gotten wrong. But way back, when you're looking at these people that were able to discover so many things without the help of technology, without supercomputers and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's what they brought forward, was Albert Einstein. How he was looked at as mad, and he was creating and working with geometric systems and numbers, and so being able to sit into that energies and channel that frequency and vibration. And Tesla, she puts Tesla.
Yep.
There's so many people who will be looked at and are frowned upon because it's misunderstood, but what they're before our times. And that's what spirit was reminding me of those that walk the path before us, and how the knowledge and the energies moved through them, and how they didn't give up, and they persisted and continued and developed the muscle to work with the energies in the way that felt right for them.
I mean, look at, like, even going back to the Mayan civilization stuff, look at the Mayan calendar, how accurate that was to, just look at the stars and map the star charts and everything to be able to predict things like moon cycles and harvest and all that stuff without computers or, all the stuff that we have today.
That's exactly is the wisdom of spirit, really, really channeling that energy. And that takes time. It takes dedication. Just as the work that you do for Bigfoot, you're channeling Bigfoot. Your energies are invested in that. So where the mind goes and the energy goes, that's where your focus is at. So how you choose to, share your time is really what's going to take over your day-to-day time, right? So if we go back to being grounded, and give yourself a diagram, or going back to, middle school or elementary school, where they're giving you a chart. How much air are you getting? How much breath are you getting? How much water and your vegetables and food, and it'll give you a dialogue of where your energy is being spent as an individual. And that'll give you a balance. So the goal is to be balanced.
Steamboat says, I have 15 years of experience in HVAC, and I was a service technician in Dallas until I moved out to the woods. I ask myself a lot, can I live without it?
Right. I think sometimes we all go through that. It's the tower that falls, and when the tower falls, we sometimes don't have a choice. Some things are changing, where we can't hold on to the things that we once had, and so we learn to be grateful for the new things that do come in, and we adjust. And it's such a hard process, when we're really having to let go of something. Sometimes when we're in this journey, we'll say when the healing journey comes, right? Where our behaviors, our people that we hang out with, it all changes. There's so much transformation in the journey. Mm-hmm.
Steamboat says, balance is very important.
Yeah.
That's interesting. Like we don't realize the things that we can live without. For every day you go through life, and you're so used to getting up and turning on the TV, or going to the fridge to get something, or going down the road to Walmart and picking up something that you need, because it's that convenience that we have now. And like I travel a lot for the conventions and that, and I go all over different places in the United States and that, and I've come to these areas where there's small towns, mm-hmm. and I need something like, I want to go grab something real quick. I ran out of shampoo or something in my traveler, and there's no Walmart. And right. We forget these little things that, we take for granted. And I know that's, not a very good example, but there's a lot of things that we take for granted that we don't need. Right. We don't need Walmart. We can go to, the mom and pop store to get the same items that we need, but we're right. so trained to having these experiences. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think, what can you utilize, and how can you bring it to the simpler lifestyles, right? But that's everyone. Again, it's different for everyone. But I agree with you what you're saying. When we're traveling, they don't have the things that we are accustomed to. I like a certain stuff for my hair, and I'm not going to find that out in a certain area. I know that, so at the end of the day, it's also being prepared. Nature has everything we need. I was going to say that, Courtney. What is it that's in nature? There's shampoo out there. There is, there's perfume. There's things I want to get a leaf and, clean the body with the leaves. Like there's a lot of things, but always getting the right, knowing which one to use, right? And there's food. I was at this event this weekend, and my girl Jen, she just pulls an apple from the tree, and I'm like, dude, you just grabbed the apple. Like, how do you know there's no bugs? Like, how do you know? Like, you're just grubbing on it. And then she's like, oh my God, there's berries back here too. I'm like, girl, stop. So I'm always like that cautious. Okay, hold up, wait a minute. Can we have it? Can we not? I'm a big baby. So.
That's fascinating, because, I kind of fall into the same mindset of, I went out to California a while ago, and there's just like orange trees and stuff that line the road, and in certain areas and stuff. And you think that's a completely different thing than if you went to Walmart to buy it. Like, I can't eat that because that's a wild, there's bugs in it, like you said, and it's dirty, it's out here. But we don't realize that all these people do is they go pick it off the same tree, throw it in a box, ship it to Walmart, and we buy it and go, ha, it's an orange.
Right. We got to clean it. It's got to get blessed and prayed over, and then we'll eat it.
By the shipping gods. Yes.
I am so sensitive when it comes down to energy. I have a place where I go get coffee. I could literally feel the energy of the person who made it down to their behavior. And if I drink it and they're not in a good place, there's problems. So I have to make my own coffee. But for those that are super sensitive and intuitive, we literally can feel the energies of what we eat. And that's how in depth and this can go for some people. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's really interesting. It makes you sick. With
Yes.
being an empath and stuff. Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
pick up on that, and it physically makes you sick based on the
Right.
negativity and the things around you.
Right. So it's like I would go to the restaurant. And if I know we're going to go to the pub or something, I'll bring my own drink. They're like, who brings their own drink? I'm like, hey, hey, this girl, so energy exchange is real. There is a real thing out there when it comes down to energy. And especially if you, let's go back to the girl with the blindfold, right? If you are so sensitive and you're attuned to the energies of spirit world and you're attuned to that quietness, when there's racket or there's noise, we're gonna feel it. It's gonna jitter us in many unexpected ways. It doesn't mean that we can't drink it or we can't eat it. It just means we have to process it, move through it, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna drink this, So it's a matter of just understanding it's data. It's just data. It's a psychic data. This person's having a bad day.
Interesting. So we skipped over a little bit. Excuse me, skipped over a little bit about yourself as far as like how you work and stuff. So let's go back and talk a little bit about that. Do you consider yourself more of, as you said, like more of an empath or the emotion and stuff feeling, or do you? What is your primary means of communication, I guess?
Are you saying for spirit?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I am the link for spirit. And so however spirit chooses to work through me, I honor it. So whether it's the presence or if it is the channel, I will hold space for that. I do trance. I'm an evidential medium. So I'm a Reiki practitioner. So if it's energy healing, I have my team, but I also work with the team of spirit when they change out. So it's whatever spirit wants to do. So I'm truly a service in how they want to work. All our clairs, everybody can use their clairs. So there's no one specific way. It's very important not to limit yourself. It's important to say, I'm just here and whatever spirit wants to do to share their story, let it be natural, organic, and it doesn't limit you. You can see, you can hear, you can feel, you can taste, you can know. I can taste, I can smell spirit. I can hear them. I can feel them. So all my clairs are part of that, just as yours are. But how they work is the way they're going to get to you in the fastest response. So if you're someone who's clairvoyant, boom, they're going to give you clairvoyantly because that's the quickest way they can give you the message. So everyone is very different on how we work. So I just say I show up, and what they want to do is what they do.
Very cool. Very cool. That's awesome. Like people ask me, when you go out into the woods to look for Bigfoot. And I say, well, I don't go out into the woods to look for Bigfoot. I go out to the woods because something was reported there. Mm-hmm. I feel like that's kind of like the same energy as that. We're not going out to communicate a certain way. We're there to experience and see what comes in.
Exactly. And it's really honoring the energies, right? So this is where you're respecting, you're going to investigate. I'm here to show up because I am a service to the energies of spirit. And so when I'm a service in whatever way they want to come forward, and not only for them, but for the person that's coming to receive. So whether this is as for teaching, whether this is for the message, for the healing, there's so many ways that spirit works through us, not just for the message, but just being a good person is enough.
Now, there's one thing in your bio that I haven't heard before, and that's the evidential part. Can you explain what that is? Because I've had a lot of mediums and spiritualists and metaphysical and stuff on, but I've never heard that term before.
It was a term that was given to me, I would say, when I started taking my classes way back. Evidence, I'm bringing evidence without a doubt, 100%. This is your mother. I know that the heart would have been a factor. That's evidence. I know that at the end of her passing, someone had to save her. I see CPR being done. That's evidence. I see that you have a watch of your father that's put on the right side of your dresser, left side of your dresser. That's evidence. I know things happen very quickly. That's evidence. So evidential, I want you to prove it without a doubt. This is my mom or my dad. So you have to bring evidential proof, So as a matter of facts.
Nice. I like that. That's very cool. Steamboat says, oops. Every time I try and click on something, it jumps up on me every time.
It's the energies.
Life path 33. Here I feel things others don't. I've heard that term before. This 33. Does that mean anything to you? Can you explain kind of like what that is? Do you know?
Life path 33. No, it's a numerology thing, right? I feel things others don't. So if you break it down, 3 equals to 6. So I don't know. If we let's just channel it. I'm not a numerologist, so I can't give you the numerology meaning of it. But 3 for me is like spirit is with you. 3. The Trinity. I will look at the triangle, so it's like a portal. So I want to look at that's how my energy is filling into it as a channeler. But I get the sense that they're bringing healing around your heart with this 3. I get the sense a gentleman in spirit is connecting to you when the 3 comes up. I feel like there's a father, a grandfather in spirit that's connecting to you when you are seeing the numbers as well. So even though that's your life path, there's also more of a meaning when the 3 pops up for her. So that's what I got.
Very good.
Numerology, yes. 3376 is a master number. Thank you, Steamboat. You're awesome. Not my area.
I don't think we've had a numerologist on the show or anything here, but I've heard the life path 33 as like
it's a master
certain,
number.
Yeah, like something like that, like energy and stuff. I don't know.
Well, like I'm a master number 11, and I took numerology. There's a really cool lady that I took a numerology class known as a master teacher. Oh, Erica, no, Erica Neva's a good one to bring in here too. You got, and Courtney, you got a lot of mediums up in here right now watching you.
Nice.
I love that, guys. Thank you. Reincarnated sea. Okay. Bring the change to the world. Yes.
Yeah, I see like everybody, it seems like, has certain, I don't know, I don't want to get off on numerology here, but everyone seems to have like certain numbers that associate with them. Like everywhere I see 1111, and some people see 7s or 6s, or like on license plates, and they all have a certain meaning to each individual.
Right. So if you really think about it, it's like an alignment, right? We all want to be aligned. We all want to have that portal open. We all want to be connected, and we want spirit to talk to us. And we're all looking for those little golden nuggets. And it feels so good when that happens. I was driving out to LA, was it yesterday, the day before? And as I was going out there, and there was the first thing I saw immediately at the first light getting out of my driveway, 999 on a license plate, endings and new beginnings. Okay. Then as I was driving, 444, all right, my angels are with me. Yeah, let's go. It pumps you up, and your team knows you're going into something. So spirit's going to have you surrounded by, signs. And that's what you're looking for, is a sign that the universe is listening. Right. And so then I'm done with my project in 7-7. Who doesn't want some 7-7s? That's all about abundance, right? So I'm like, yeah, let the abundance flow. And it was a portal. I think it was the day of like all the planets were aligned. And, so it was like pretty cool. It's like, I'm aligned. Let's go. Let's keep it going. And if you're living that way, it can overtake you. So it's really important to stay as authentic as you can, not because your astrologist said, don't go out of the house today. It's a Mercury or retrograde, or who knows. I'm just throwing that out there as an example, but it's really still important. Yes, numbers and astrology play a factor. However, you still want to continue your day based on preparation. Today and your stars and the planets are aligned, you may have a little hiccup. Be prepared. Check your gas. Make sure you have gas in the car. Make sure if you're traveling, you give yourself extra time. So just kind of using it to enhance the way you live, but never let it stop you from the way to live.
Oops. May I put a link to my channel? Yeah, sure. Throw a link in the show note, or the show notes. Sure, go ahead. Throw it in the comment section. Let it show up for you. Be open to receive gifts. I think this whole show keeps coming back to the same topic of being present. No matter what these things are that you're seeing, it's recognizing it and being in that moment, because all these messages that we're receiving or getting out there and stuff, if you're not present and looking at those license plates, at the signs on the side of the road, on the time on the clock, you're missing all these messages that are being put out there.
I agree. And this goes back to investigations and I was brought to this for a presentation I'm going to do on Saturday. We are so quick to use the equipment to see what data we get from spirit through the equipments that we have. But do we look at the time on the clock? Do you look at what's on the TV? What song is playing? Is there a bird around? There's so many things that are within the presence of the home or the buildings or the structures that are also going to be connecting to us with a message. So it's really important to what day are you there? What month is it? All of those play a factor in the investigation. It could be something that played out as a seasonal memory. This happens every June. How coincidental. You're here and it's June. Is it the number, the date that you're there? Paying attention to every detail. And I don't know why I'm getting this for you, but Spirit is even having me bring forward, does this person resemble somebody that you look like, that looks like so-and-so? That's also a message. So pay attention to those type of things and details.
That's interesting. I see a lot of that where certain people's facial expressions or something reminds me of someone else. So.
Yeah. And that was Spirit saying that is to be true for you. Yeah. Yeah. Because you got a lot of cool people here. I see Jesse, Gabby. Hey, Gabby. Hi, Eddie from Liverpool. What's up? Love that.
So, yes, it is a very lively chat this morning. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you got a great group of people in here, all over the place. So I love it.
Awesome. Yeah, if we were talking about Erica, if you're interested in coming on the show, or even Steamboat, I do the other show for cryptids on Mondays. If you're interested, shoot me an email at wisconsincaps@gmail.com, and we'll get you scheduled to come on the show and share. And anybody that's in the comments that has something they would like to bring forward, I'd love to have you guys on as well.
Yes, Courtney Lopez is another one. She's all about paranormal. Courtney Lopez, Mama, Mama Pride up in there, and she's doing her thing, but she always holds space for others, and she's so down with the paranormal. She's got a lot of cool clips you can even pull in.
Very cool.
Once you're awakened, you're open to your surroundings. Exactly, Tammy's amazing as well. So you got a good group. You guys give him a follow. Wow, that would be an honor. Steamboat is excited. Look at that. You just got your comment crowd fired up.
Oh, I know. It is a very lively morning today.
Yes, I love it.
Awesome. So we are coming up on the end of the show, guys. All you wonderful people in the comments section, if you do have a question, not just comments about how wonderful my guest is today, but if you have any questions for her, throw them in the comments section and we will grab them before we wrap things up today. But Debbie, I know that you have an awesome event coming up this weekend. Why don't you tell everybody about it, where you're going to be, how they can find you?
Oh, thank you so much. So I'm in the Ventura County area, and I have the honor to be a guest speaker at the Ventura Majestic Theater, which is the 2025 Paracon. And so I'll have a booth. I'll be doing readings and offering Reiki. And as an addition, I made some boxes I'm really excited for. One's a manifestation, self-love, and also peace and harmony, and a little protection box. Comes with some sage and crystals, and got a little sugar scrub, a little bath thing. So a lot of my students in here have no idea that I made these or putting them together. I want to say it has a little witchy Debbie in there too. So there's some little witchy tips as well. And so I'm really grateful just to be able to be in the community. And when on Saturday, I will be discussing the difference in mediumship, paranormal with physical mediumship and mental mediumship. And so I'll be doing a talk on that on Saturday at 12. So I'm trying to get Jesse to come out to sell his stuff to add to the booth. So Jesse, you still got days, bro. Come on, get it together. So that's where I'll be. And so if you guys are in the area, give this girl a follow. Come. They're going to have a ghost walk. It's a pretty cool theater. It is a haunted theater. And it is run by Stefan Bagardi, and he has been putting this together. I believe this is going into his third year or fourth year. I'm not sure. I think third year. And it goes back to the mobsters. So you literally are going in. They'll have a ghost walk, and there's I can validate that there's some serious activity in there. We were there one year, and one of the spirits in the back by the bar, he likes to hang out by the bar, literally was trying to pull my husband's wallet out of his pocket, and the wallet was going up and the machine was going off. And so the activity is fire. And so you guys, if you're in the area, definitely come out. So yeah, yes, witchy. I got my anise, which is the stars. I got my rue. So I was buying all my herbs yesterday. So this girl is ready.
I love that. I love trying to steal the wallet there. I always one of the locations that we do tours and stuff has a vending machine with like candy bars and stuff. And I always say, if you can make that light up, you can get me a candy bar. So
Right. And when those things light up and they go, I mean, it's really, really cool to witness and to be part of that evidential proof and scientific proof that they
mhm.
are listening. And so if you don't have these equipments and you're connecting to spirit, just start putting your finger up and have them knock on the wall to how many fingers you're holding. And this goes back to old school, going back to your old school, new school, right? You can go in and record now with your phone to see what picks up. As an addition, write things down, document it. What did you hear? What did you feel? Was the energy hot? Like, did you feel it warm? Was it cold? What area were you at when this happened? Start documenting um, and diagnosing, we'll say, the energies. So this can unfold in so many ways. It could be a great project. It's just playing with the way spirit wants to work with you.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Steamboat says your energy is contagious. I thank you for sharing with the world.
Thank you, beautiful. Thank you so much for being here. So much love to you.
Awesome. Oh, we are we are right here at the end of the show. I want to ask you one last question here. For
Mhm.
anybody that is out there starting their days, and we want to start on a good foot and everything. What do you recommend when you wake up in the morning? What is the best way to start the grounding? Any certain tones or vibration or anything that you recommend people just starting out that want to get involved in this and to help ground them?
Great question. Every day before I wake up, I do ground and I do allow my body to welcome spirit closer. So the frequency is 68.05, which is the Earth star frequency. When you're doing this work, it's really important to focus on that Earth star chakra. And that chakra is past, present, future. Right? It's also the manifestation star. They call it the $1,000,000 star, but it's also karmic and past life if you believe. If you can ask your angels to ground your silver cord, your team of spirit, into that chakra, it brings your energy in. So we talked about the different ways our energy expands and touches everything, which makes us sensitive to other energies. So if we're bringing in the energy, grounding that silver cord into that chakra, and then just asking them to fill you up with the colors that your energy needs. Don't pick the colors. Let spirit fill you up with the colors that you need for the day. And it's very simple. Ground your silver cord. 68.05 frequency hertz is a great hertz to listen, and just bring in the healing to that. It's very protective. It's where our energy is being. I wanted to use the word purge for the anxiousness, anxiety, one who may battle depression. It sits within the earth star chakra, root chakra, and the sacral chakra. So working with the lower base of the chakras, because we're so open, we want to make sure that we have stability from the lower base of our spine as well. I have a Spotify. You can go to my Earth Star Chakra meditation. It talks about the tips that you can use as you start your day with grounding. So for me, I used hematite. I use obsidian, grounding foods like chocolate. I love yams and beets, and the foods can keep you grounded very quickly. Grounding, you can touch the earth, the soil, take your shoes off, and then, of course, bring your energy back to the awareness of now, what's in front of you. Bring your thought process to yourself. What is in front of you? What do I need today? So for me, before I came to you, I meditated. jumped into a cold plunge. And from the cold plunge, I meditated in the cold plunge and brought my energy present, cleared my auric field, and got me ready to work with you. So everyone's going to have some way of regimen or routine to keep their energy present, whether it's exercising, hugging a tree. There's so many methods that are out there. So first thing, ground the silver cord. You can't go wrong. That's the easiest thing you can do.
Awesome.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Steamboat says, great to know. I battle depression regularly, and so far I'm winning. I'm glad to hear that.
Keep going, baby. Yeah, ground that energy, and so much love to you.
That was all amazing advice. And I know there's people out there that literally all they heard out of that was get up and eat chocolate. Because I mean, I focus
on I got chocolate in my coffee. Cheers to the chocolate eaters.
That's what a lot of the people out there are taking. Get up and eat chocolate. Got it. That'll work every day.
Dark chocolate, y'all.
True.
Dark chocolate.
Yes.
Dark chocolate. Yeah, I got Hershey kisses for my booth. So if you come by my booth, you can get a kiss. A Hershey kiss. Yes.
Dark chocolate. Yep. Leah's excited about that as well. All right. Well, it has been fabulous having you on. I think this is a great conversation. Our audience really enjoyed it. And again, anybody that's interested, shoot me a message. We'll chat after this and stuff. But thank you so much. We got your links to all of your social media, everything. Your link tree is in the show notes. For anybody, you can go in there and click on that. For anybody just listening passively, where can people find you and get a hold of you if they want to learn more?
DebbieRomero.com. And I run circles, $10. You can pop in and you can practice and work with some cool people that are in here. So definitely follow girl. And I love to hold space for communities. So honor and a privilege, Barnaby, to be a guest on your show. And we'll have to get you set up to come on mine. So I say thank you, everyone who spent the hour with us and just holding space.
Awesome. Well, best of luck at your show. Hopefully everyone stops by for a kiss and some awesome energy.
That's right. Y'all know where to go. 805. Thank you.
Thank you. You have a great day.
You too. Thank you so kindly. Take care, everybody.
All right, guys, that is our show for this week. Thank you all for sharing this time with us. Thank you for tuning in, and like, subscribe, and share all things here on the Untold Radio Network, as well as all of my research and investigating at Cryptids, Anomalies, and the Paranormal Society, WisconsinCaps.com. You can find links to all of our stuff on there as well, or it's in the show notes, as well as all of Debbie's stuff in her link tree. So make sure that you go check all that out and all of her wonderful websites and links and her book as well. And if you're in the California area, head out and see her in person. So until next time, guys, thank you all for watching, tuning in. And remember, we're all part of the paranormal spectrum. Take care, be well, and I'll see you next week.